Hey, food lovers, welcome back to Chef Up, your go to spot for delicious homemade meals. I'm bringing comfort and flavor right to your kitchen. Today, we're going to dive right into the savory world of egg rolls. So, grab up all your ingredients and let's roll up some flavor together. Here, I'm using soy sauce, oyster sauce, sesame seed oil, minced garlic, and minced ginger. Okay, and for the vegetables here, we have cabbage, celery, carrots, and green onions. I'm also going to use rice noodles. Mix all the ingredients together, which every ingredient will be listed in the description box below. All right, let's get to cooking. Okay, the first step here is the green onions. I got these green onions out of my garden. We're going to just do a quick chop. No need to get fancy or anything like that here, okay? Just chop them up. Now we just have some carrots. I find using a potato peeler much easier. Just chop off the ends, cut them in half to make an even. Now you see how also it rolls? Now we don't want that. We don't want to get hurt or cut. So just cut off a little section. See, just a little bit. That's it. And then put the surface down and see it's not rolling now. There you go. Now go ahead and slice it up, and I'm just going to give it a julienne type cut to make it easier when I add it to the other vegetables and put it in the food processor later. Also I have here the cabbage and the celery that I've already pre-cut. All right. And also, eat your carrots. Carrots are good for your eye health. And also, they say that it lowers the blood pressure and the cholesterol levels, which is actually reducing your risk of heart disease. See how I just julienne cut everything? That's what we're looking for. And just roughly chop the onions. That's all we need. Right here, I pre-soaked the rice noodles in lukewarm water. Make sure you do that in the beginning. They need time to soften up. And this is the brand of rice noodles that I use, the rice vermicelli. And this is the brand. I can't say it. Okay. Now that we finished slicing up all our vegetables, we're going to get out the food processor and just add them in here. Okay. And it's much easier once you pre-chop them a little bit, which makes it much easier on the machine. And for bite-sized pieces. Just put it all together, put your blade in, and see how the vegetables are already cut up? That's what you want. Load it into your machine. All right, veggies, actually these vegetables, the ones that we're putting in here, they're packed with fiber and vitamins A and C. All right, so not only is it just going to boost the flavor, hey, it's good for your digestive system as well and gives you good immune support. Oh, look at the top. We have an arrow on the top, on the lid, and an arrow here on the handle. Make sure you line those up when you attach it to your Ninja food processor. Because if you do not line them up, the food processor will not chop up your food. Also, this is the other thing about the carrots. They supposedly say that it helps regulate your blood sugar levels. And you know what that means? It would actually reduce your risk of diabetes. All right, so here we go. Look at this. That's what we're looking for because we still want a crunch in our egg rolls. Once everything is all blended up together, I'm going to move aside and begin working on my ground chicken. I bought whole chicken breast that was already skinless and boneless, and then I just washed it off. Put on my attachment on the KitchenAid, and now I'm just going to go ahead and ground my own chicken. And I also bought pre-grounded pork. I'm going to mix the pork in here because I like that spicy kick. And it's rich in flavor. It also provides a good amount of protein, some of the essential vitamins as well. Now the chicken is actually a lean source of protein, and it helps build and repair your muscles. All right. Once that's all grounded up, let's set that aside. And now the rice noodles should be pretty much soft. So I'm going to go ahead and start chopping these up. And we need them to be bite-sized pieces. We do not want to have anybody choking over any long pieces of noodles. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention, when you're actually chopping your vegetables in the food processor, make sure that you're just giving it 4 or 5 pulses, okay? You don't want mush. Oh man, okay, my granddaughters decided it looked like fun chopping up the rice noodles. So they're here helping me. Look at their little tiny hands. I love my little helpers. To make the egg rolls even healthier, you could consider baking or air frying them instead of deep frying them. Okay, once they're all completely chopped up, what I'm going to do is drain them and just shake off any excess water and add it to your bowl with your vegetables. Add in your chicken, your pork, and then you just want to go ahead and just mix everything up. Incorporate everything because you want to have the flavor in each egg roll. And that's why I said it's important when you put it in the food processor, don't make it become mush because you want a nice bite in the egg rolls. See the consistency we're looking for? And the spring roll wrappers that I'm using is a pastry, and this is the brand. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and put the sauce mixture in a wok, and we're just looking to saute the garlic and the ginger before we begin adding the filling. Once we have that sauteed, we go ahead and we put in our filling, and we're looking to brown our chicken and our pork. You do not want to see any pink. And as you're stirring, just make sure that you incorporate and mix in all the sauce over everything that you have in here. And once the meat starts turning brown, you can go ahead and give it a taste and decide if you want to add salt or pepper or any other ingredients that you like, even soy sauce instead of salt. Once it's completed and it's brown, transfer it to a baking sheet and let it cool down. Time to have some fun. Just lay your wrapper out, put it in a diamond shape on your cutting board, and then add about 2 tablespoons of the filling near the center fold of the bottom corner over the filling. Tuck in the sides and roll it up tight. Seal the edges with a little bit of that egg wash that we have here. You just wrap it up like a burrito. You have to keep your wrappers damp, so get a towel or even a paper towel and just lay it on top of your wrappers to keep them damp as you're wrapping your egg rolls. Okay, look at what we have going on here. It made quite a bit. So now is the time that you can decide if you want to cook everything right now or if you want to put some in the freezer or the refrigerator to have a little bit later on. If you put them in the refrigerator, it's 3 to 5 days, and in the freezer, it's about 5 to 6 weeks. Okay, over here I have a pot of corn oil. I'm only looking for a 350 degrees temperature. And make sure you have enough oil in your pot because you are deep frying. Once the oil reaches the proper temperature of 350 degrees, gently place in your egg rolls. You want to avoid any hot oil from popping on you. If you decide to bake it or air fry it for a healthier roll, it will in fact reduce the oil content, lowering the calorie and fat intake. But like I said, I want the flavorful fat intake. And then once they get crispy and golden brown and begin to float, they are pretty much done. Just remove them out and put them aside and let them cool down. I like eating mine with the spicy chili sauce. I hope you enjoy. Like and subscribe. Hit the notification for more upcoming recipes. Thank you for watching.